Recently, I shared that I quit my job at the top of 2021 and within 11 months grew my business from being just a side hustle to earning over $250,000 in less than a year. So today I want to share some of the tips and some of the things I did to grow my business from being a side hustle to earning multiple six figures. Let's get into it. First thing that I did that was really transformative was I started taking ownership of my time. A lot of people, myself included, you got a lot of dreams, you got a lot of goals, we feel like we don't have enough time. But honestly, it's just not true. For me, I started implementing this thing called nights, weekends, and lunch breaks. So after the kids went to bed, I would spend 1 or 2, maybe 3 hours working on my thing before I went to bed. I also limited my TV consumption. I love Netflix, I love YouTube, I love Hulu, all that stuff is great. But in order to really grow where I wanted to grow, I had to cut some of that stuff out. And I also limited my talk time. And this one was hard. And this is gonna sound offensive, but I promise I'm not trying to be offensive. I was spending a lot of time talking to people who loved me genuinely, right? I've got great relationships, but they weren't helping me get to where I was trying to go. And so I had to reposition them a bit to where, like, okay, instead of talking to this person X amount of times a week, maybe I'll do, kind of scale back on that a little bit. So that was a hard one, but it was one that was necessary in order to grow. The next thing I did to really grow my business was investing in myself and the business. This one was hard for me to swallow because I didn't grow up with a ton of money. And so anytime I got money, I was like, let me hold on to it, you know what I'm saying? Or I would blow it quickly on stuff that didn't really matter much. One thing I always say is like, yo, don't buy anything that's not gonna help you make more money. Let's say you have a business and you're getting clients and you're like, oh, we're starting to make some money. Let's go buy a new car, or let's go, I don't know, get an Apple Watch or something. There's nothing wrong with those things. But if it's not going to help you generate more income, in other words, be an asset to your business, you can probably wait to buy that thing later. So that's kind of the rule that we adopted. Let's invest in the business, but only buy things that are gonna help us make more money. One example is I upgraded my laptop. My laptop was super slow and it was taking me forever to edit and produce videos for my clients. And that was losing me money because I couldn't, pull in more clients or do more work or more videos. And so we invested and got a new laptop, a faster laptop, so that I could do more work and win more business. Another thing I did to help grow my business, and this was, really simple, is I started to put myself out there. There were so many people in my life, friends or even family members, who had no idea that I had a side business or that I was even interested in growing that business. And so I started to be more open and have more conversations with people, even strangers. Like I would carry my camera around on purpose sometimes. Like I wouldn't even be shooting anything, but I would just carry my camera with me to and from work. And sometimes it would spark conversations. Not all those conversations led to like, oh, you're a client now, we're making money. Like sometimes it was just building my confidence so that when it was time to talk to potential clients, I wasn't afraid to say, yes, we can do business with you. The next thing I did, and this is kind of more of a mindset thing, is I started thinking like a business owner instead of a side hustler. Really treating my business as a priority. I started talking about it out loud. I started thinking toward it. I started just mentally making the shift of, this isn't just a little thing I do on the side. It's not just cute. Like, you got a little business. No, this ain't no little business. This is a serious endeavor. I want this to actually feed my family. And so that came with me, getting an LLC and registering the business and, getting different licenses and insurance and things like that. And like just really making the business legitimate because it was and is a legitimate business. The last thing I did, and this is another mind shift thing, is I stopped waiting for someone to rescue me from my job. This was tough for me because I'm a man of faith. I believe in Jesus, I believe in God. And because he is our provider, it can be really easy to just kind of kick your heels up and sit back and be like, I'm just gonna wait for God to bless me. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna sit back, keep my heels up and not do anything, and he's just gonna throw these blessings in my lap. While he can do that because he's God and he can do anything he wants to do, the reality is he also gave us responsibility on this earth to work, to generate wealth for our generations, to like actually put our hands to a plow and do things, not only for just the advancement of his kingdom, but for us to take care of our families and take care of ourselves. And so I had to get out of the mindset of, one day, it's gonna be a magic moment, all the stars are gonna align, and I'm just gonna know that it's the right time to quit my job and someone's gonna hand me hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest in my business. No, none of that happened. I I had to literally put in hard work and realize that, man, no one's coming to save me. No one's coming to just be like, hey man, I see you're trying hard, here's a bunch of money. And that still could happen, I don't know, but I wasn't waiting on that anymore. I started to put in the work and put in the sacrifice and put in the time to actually grow this thing. Not to say that I did it in my own strength, because it was definitely God's grace powering me through this thing, and His wisdom and His knowledge and His guidance from the Holy Spirit. However, I had to do my part too. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Maybe you're somebody who's considering starting or growing a side hustle. If so, let me know in the comments. Was that helpful? Do you want more videos like this? Do you have any questions for me? Let me know, all right? My name is Godfrey. I appreciate y'all for watching. I hope you have a phenomenal day. And as always, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.